By Rampage Jackson.
And that's it. That is all she wrote for Murphy's right there.
Danielle Taylor throwing some heavy shots and ends the fight. Cutler is out. Insane airplane toss by Charles Krazy.
Huge knees, two huge knees.
And there she is, Ronda Rousey making her pro debut in excellent fashion. Jamie Colleen just destroying. Cutler says, no more, I'm out. And a quick look at our rules of combat based on 3 5-minute rounds and, of course, 5 5-minute rounds for championship bouts. And, of course, in the amateur division, that changed to 3 3-minute rounds. And, of course, 5 3-minute rounds for championship bouts in the amateur division. It's based on the 10-point must system, judging criteria. And to get things started, we'll go ahead and throw it to the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, our fighters are ready. Our officials, they too are ready. Western New York, are you ready? Please welcome to the cage, Jared Dumont.
Now making his way to cage side, Jared Dumont. Dumont hails from Welland, Ontario, Canada. He's fighting out of the 155-pound weight class, currently coming off of a very fresh amateur record of 0-0. He's going to be looking to pick up that first win here tonight, which almost guarantees that he's going to be coming off fiercer than ever. You know, both of these fighters actually looking to pick up their first wins here tonight. It'll be very interesting seeing the tenacity between the two fighters as they go against each other. They're both got a lot on the line, you know. They're trying to prove their stuff. Now, Jared Dumont is a fairly diverse fighter. He can handle himself on the stand-up. He can handle things when it gets taken down to the ground. Dumont coming up in the ranks here at King of the Cage. Definitely bringing a lot to the table. He's got a lot of power behind those hands. You know, his opponent, Alex Murphy, is really going to have to look out for that. He's going to have to stay on defense the entire time, being a really good guard, because Dumont also, he walks into the cage, he starts his fights very calm, but it's almost a mystery as to what's going to happen after that. So hopefully his opponent is all ready for that. Dumont finishing up his cage side preparations here. And it looks like we're just about ready to get things started. Jared Dumont heads inside the cage.
Here is Alex Murph Dog Murphy.
Now making his way to the cage, Alex Murphy. Murphy hails from Salamanca, New York, and stands at 5 feet 9 inches tall. He's currently fighting out of the 155-pound weight class, and his amateur record is fresh at 0 wins and 0 losses. Murphy looking to pick up his first win here tonight. He trains out of Salamanca Fitness in New York. There he practices in Muay Thai and Karate, so we could definitely expect some stand-up coming from Murphy here. He's definitely got something to bring to the table as far as technique and form. Both of these fighters looking to pick up their first win, coming off of a clean slate in the amateur division. Murphy's definitely going to be bringing some good stand-up to the table. Maybe we'll hope to get a nice little brawl going on. Once again, this is King of the Cage in the mix at Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino in New York. We'd like to welcome all of you here tonight tuning in. Alex Murphy heads into the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the sensational Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino, Salamanca, New York, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout in the lightweight division. Your referee in charge of the action, Todd Anderson. Introducing first, in the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 6'1", official weight 154 pounds. He represents Niagara Top Team and Parabellum MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Manitoulin Island, Ontario, by way of Niagara Falls, New York, presenting Jared Zuma. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 9 inches tall. Official weight 156.6 pounds. He represents Salamanca Fitness. Ladies and gentlemen, from Salamanca, New York, presenting Alex Murph Dog Murphy. Once again, Todd Anderson is your official for this bout. Now with the final instructions, 3 rounds, lightweights.
Gentlemen, go over the rules of the battle. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. If you wish to touch gloves, do so now. Step back.
Round number 1, Jared Dumond versus Alex Murphy. Dumond in the blue gloves, Murphy in the red.
Both of these guys just starting out here. Murphy coming out, eating a big leg kick from Dumond right out of the gate. Overhand right. I don't know if Alex Murphy had a whole bunch of sparring time under his belt. Looks really tentative right here. Inside leg kick from Dumond. Both of these guys just starting out. Front push kick from Murphy.
Yes, Dumond coming off very aggressive. Right out the back, gets a nice takedown there.
Immediately into half guard here is Dumond. Actually, if I was him, I would stand up. I'd just get back up and start working a little bit more on my stand-up game. Murphy looks to be a little bit more comfortable on the ground than he is on his feet. Overhand right from Dumond, now stepping into the full mount. I might have spoke a little bit too quick.
Dumond just really showing his domination on whether it's the stand-up or the ground. Totally just taking over Murphy right now.
Yeah, I'd say Murphy's outmatched, and it's a good call to have this thing stopped.
Take a quick look at that replay.
Yeah, just completely uncomfortable in there as Murphy. This is his first fight, so it's a pawing job out there, hands low. Front push kick gets caught. And just dominating Trent with Jared Dumont.
An excellent performance from Jared Dumont here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 1 minute and 12 seconds of the first round. Your winner by verbal tap out due to strikes, Jared Dumont. Here is Alex, the Reaper, Watson.
Now making his way to cage side, Alex Watson. Watson hails from Bronson, Michigan, and stands at 6 feet tall. He's currently fighting out of the 155-pound weight class, coming off of an amateur record of 1 win and 2 losses. Watson looking to secure that second win here tonight. Watson trains independently out of his hometown of Bronson, Michigan. There, he likes to build off of his pre-established wrestling technique. He's had wrestling experience in the past. That's what a lot of his fighting style is really surrounding, that ground game, that speed, that agility that wrestlers have a tendency to have. Definitely going to be bringing some ferocity into the cage in terms of the ground game. And from what we've seen in the past, Watson is a very cool and collected, yet explosive fighter. You know, he waits, he really likes to watch and play his opponent out, likes to find out what's their patterns, you know, how are they going to maneuver to this specific person. Watson does just that, takes his time, and then immediately breaks off into an explosive act and goes for the finish. Alex Watson steps inside the cage.
Here is Captain Morgan Cavanaugh.
Morgan Cavanaugh now making his way to the cage side. Cavanaugh hails from Buffalo, New York, and stands at 5 feet 11 inches tall. Also fighting out of the 155-pound weight class, his current amateur MMA record stands at 7 wins and 4 losses. Cavanaugh has had quite the extensive early career here at King of the Cage. He's definitely proved himself inside as a very fierce fighter, both on the stand-up and the ground. He's looking to pick up his 8th win here tonight. And speaking of that ground game, Cavanaugh currently holds a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he trains out of WNY MMA. There he focuses on his wrestling experience and background, combined with a savage fighting style of his own naming. Cavanaugh is a very unpredictable, very explosive opponent. He quickly figures out what he needs to do to get around or overwhelm his opponents and finishes the job quickly. He's definitely got a little bit more in-cage experience over his opponent. However, we can never see that completely determine a fight. Morgan Cavanaugh steps inside the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the sensational Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino, Salamanca, New York, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout in the lightweight division. Your referee in charge of the action, Matt Rocca. Introducing first, in the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 6 feet tall, official weight 154.8 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, from Bronson, Michigan, 49028, presenting Alex the Reaper Watson. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 11 inches tall. Official weight 155.6 pounds. He represents WNY MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Buffalo, New York, presenting Captain Morgan Cavanaugh. Once again, Matt Rocca is your official for this bout. Now with the final instructions, 3 rounds, lightweights.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you're ready, you want to move the pre-fight briefing. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do so now. Bring it back to your corner.
Here we are, round number 1. Alex Watson versus Morgan Cavanaugh.
Watson coming in 1-2. Cavanaugh with substantially more experience, 7-4. Overhand right missing. A great sprawl by Watson though.
Watson really displaying a great defense here, but Cavanaugh is pursuing forward.
Working that armbar, but immediately giving up his back is Watson. One hook in is Cavanaugh. See if he can't get that other one in, and he does. See if he can't slide his hips back just a little bit.
Watson getting into a really dangerous situation here.
Now Watson with decent hand control here, getting one hook out. Looks like he spent some time on the ground. Relentless with those hooks though, but riding a little bit high, switching it up to armbar. Looks like he has it, and that's in there deep. And there's a tap.
There it is, fantastic form right there. Watson tried to get out of it at that last minute, but just couldn't hold out.
Great transition trend from Cavanaugh. Let's take a look at this thing. 1-2 missing badly. There's a good sprawl by Watson, but he just couldn't keep Cavanaugh off of him. Having the back now is Cavanaugh. Goes from rear naked, switches it into a armbar. And that was in there deep from the beginning. There was no chance Watson was getting out of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 57 seconds of round number 1. The winner by tap out submission from an armbar, Captain Morgan Cavanaugh. Here is Dave Secret Sauce Hawker.
David Hawker now making his way to cage side. Hawker hails from Willemstad, Curacao and stands at 5 feet 11 inches tall. Currently fighting out of the 150-pound weight class. He's coming off of an amateur MMA record, currently holding at 2 wins and 1 loss. He's looking to pick up that 3rd win here tonight, but we'll see if he can do it. Hawker currently holds a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and trains out of WNY MMA in Williamsville, New York. Hawker classifies himself as a heavy striker. He's very quick, has a lot of power behind his fists, definitely someone to look out for on the stand-up. We'll see if his opponent has any experiences when it comes to the ground game. We'll try to take him down there because most likely Hawker's going to want to stay comfortable. He's going to want to stay on his feet. He's going to play and brawl around a little bit until he finds that opportunity to just explode and finish off his opponent. But then again, that is all a matter of if he can get around his opponent, Michael Erlinson. This is definitely stacking up to be a very exciting bout here tonight at King of the Cage in the Mix. Once again, we're here at Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino in New York. The referee now finishing up with these ringside preparations. David Hawker begins his ascent into the cage.
Here is Mikey Sparkplug Erlinson.
Now making his way to cage side, Michael Erlinson. Erlinson hails from Ellicottville, New York, and stands at 5 feet 10 inches tall. He's currently fighting out of the 145-pound weight class. He's coming off of a fresh amateur ranking of 0 wins and 0 losses, looking to pick up that first win tonight. Erlinson currently trains at a lot of stand-up technique. He's very much a freestyle fighter. In that sense, he's very unpredictable in the cage, and he has a lot of speed and agility to account for. Now his opponent, David Hawker, has a little bit more experience in the cage. However, we can't weigh everything on cage experience. Erlinson definitely looking to prove himself tonight and his skill in the cage. It's going to be a great first opponent for him. Someone who's been in the cage several times before, knows how it works. It's definitely going to be a challenge for him. We'll see if he can overcome it. The referee now doing his final checks and preparations, and we'll get this show on the road. Once again, King of the Cage would like to thank our sponsors, Lucas Oil and General Tire, for helping put on this event here tonight. And of course, the Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino. Michael Erlinson heads inside the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino, Salamanca, New York, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout in the bantamweight division. Your referee in charge of the action, Todd Anderson. Introducing first, in the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, official weight 149.4 pounds. He represents WNY MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Willemstad, Curacao, presenting David Secret Sauce Hawker. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 10 inches tall. Official weight 146.6 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, from Ellicottville, New York, presenting Mikey Sparkplug Erlinson. Once again, Todd Anderson is your official for this bout. Now with the final instructions, 3 rounds, bantamweights.
Gentlemen, remember the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. If you wish to touch the glove, do so now. Step back.
Hawker versus Erlinson. Round number 1. Let's get it started.
Here we go. Erlinson's debut. Comes out with a high kick. Immediately into the trip, and half guard is Hawker.
Hawker taking quick advantage of things.
Stepping over onto the back here. Hawker trying to get both hooks in. Trying to turn towards him, in deep trouble now. Erlinson has that rear naked choke on him. Hawker has that thing in deep.
Hawker, very aggressive fighter, is able to just get into those points very quickly and overwhelm Erlinson.
Oh, this is done. There's no chance Erlinson's getting out of this thing. He better tap because he's about to pass out. And he's out cold.
Just like that. The
Walker
skill.
had that in deep, Trent.
Definitely, geez. He was able to take him out quickly.
Immediately double underhooks. Good trip, taking the back, sliding out the back door, both hooks in, and that's in there right there.
And just like that, asleep.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 44 seconds of round number 1. Your winner by technical submission, David Secret Sauce Hawker. Here is Steven, the Cannon Gagnon.
Now making his way to cage side, Steven Gagnon. Hailing from Paducah, Kentucky, Gagnon stands at 6 feet tall. He's currently fighting out of the 180-pound weight class, and his amateur MMA record stands at 4 wins and 5 losses. Gagnon currently holds a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where he trains at Bushido MMA in Mayfield, Kentucky. Gagnon looking to pick up that 5th win here tonight, and what a night of fights we have had so far. I mean, knockout after knockout, we have just had single rounders since the beginning. Only leaves us more excited for this upcoming fight here. Gagnon's got a lot of muscle, he's got a lot of power behind those punches, very aggressive fighter. However, his opponent, Art Ludwick, a little bit more of an experienced fighter, very relaxed, very calm and controlled, but also hits very hard. It's definitely going to come up to just the two of them in the cage, and we'll have to see who the better fighter is. Gagnon actually has a wrestling background, so we'll see how much that ties into this match and how it helps him in his performance. Steven Gagnon heads into the cage.
Here is Art Ludwick.
Art Ludwick now making his way to cage side. Now Ludwick has a little bit more experience in the cage over his opponent. He's just been in a few more fights, which of course, that's going to add to a little bit of an advantage on his part, just for the fact that he's just going to be able to naturally react a little bit better just because it's more of a familiar situation for him. And although it's not any huge major difference in experience, it's definitely going to tie in to his favor. Now Ludwick, a little bit more of a diverse fighter versus his opponent. Definitely is going to be fine. Could be taking things down to the ground or keeping it on the stand-up. It's really up to him or how he reacts to Steven Gagnon. The referee finishing up the cage side preparations here. Art Ludwick steps into the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the sensational Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino, Salamanca, New York, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout at a catch weight of 180 pounds. After the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Matt Raka. Introducing first, in the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 6 feet tall, official weight 180.6 pounds. He represents Bushido MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Paducah, Kentucky, presenting Steven the Cannon Gagnon. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 6 feet tall. Official weight, 176.6 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, from Salamanca, New York, presenting Art Ludwick. Once again, Matt Rocca is your official for this bout. 3-round schedule.
All right, gentlemen, we already went over the rules during the pre-fight briefing. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do so now. Make your way back to your corners.
Round number 1, Steven Gagnon in the blue gloves versus Art Ludwick in the red.
Those guys trying to find a victory here to get their records back to even. Gagnon with a good job. Instantly steps into the headlock from Ludwick.
Ludwick trying to twist out of this, but Gagnon latching onto the back.
Gagnon trying to get a hook in, gets one in. Doing a good job of slipping that out of there is Ludwick, who's 4-8. Working on that hand trap, trying to set up a Kimura here is Ludwick.
Ludwick trying to remain calm and try to get out of this situation the best he can. Gagnon setting himself up for something good here.
Gagnon with one hook in, double underhooks now. Ludwick in all kinds of trouble, and that is absolutely not how you get out of this.
And you can see the power behind Gagnon's punches.
Oh, just bashing away with that left hook. Smashing, trying to flip out of it. There's a rear naked choke, beautifully set up by Gagnon.
Ludwick just doing whatever he can right now, but Gagnon just completely turning it against him.
Ludwick needs to go 2-on-1, and it may be over right here. That's in there deep. And there's a tap.
And not the first.
With that rear naked choke, went in there fast, and he's a powerful dude.
Definitely. Let's take a quick look at that replay.
Guys exchanging jabs here. Gagnon just getting in there, stepping in, put double other hooks in there, in all kinds of trouble here. Ludwick just was too much for him on his back. Gagnon just dominating. That rear naked choke got in there and it was over.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 1 minute and 24 seconds of round number 1. Your winner by tap out submission from a rear naked choke, Steven the Cannon Gagnon. Western New York, are you ready for some women's MMA? Please welcome to the cage, Alibeth Milliron.
Now making her way to the cage, Alibeth Milliron. Milliron hails from Petoskey, Michigan, and stands at 5 feet 1 inch tall. Currently fighting out of the 115-pound weight class. Her current pro MMA record stands at 1 win and 0 losses. She left off her amateur ranking at 9 wins and 4 losses. Very impressive at that. She's looking to prove herself now in the professional division. She's definitely shown her stuff in the cage here at the past. And she's racked up and we're ready to go to watch her brawl out with her opponent, Tara Graf. Once again, we've just had knockout after TKO after knockout here tonight. Looking forward to another very explosive bout. Milliron currently trains out of Ludus MMA in Petoskey, Michigan. There she trains in a culmination of Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu, and wrestling. As we've seen, that could be a very dangerous combo, especially with the kicks, changing things up, taking things down to the ground, and being dominant from there as well. She's a very diverse fighter. Now, Mill Iron definitely has the power behind those punches to put up with the likes of Tara Graf, her opponent, who we've known to be a very aggressive stand-up fighter. But we'll have to see how she fares. This is a great way for Mill Iron to really test that stand-up skill, test her endurance against a fighter with a lot of power and is coming off of quite a few wins herself. Alibeth Mill Iron heads into the cage.
Here is Tara, the Tiny Terror Graf.
Now making her way to cage side, Tara Graf. Graf hails from Newburgh, Maryland, and stands at 5 feet 4 inches tall. Also fighting out of the 115-pound weight class, her current pro MMA record stands at 1 win and 0 losses. She came off of a decent amateur record beforehand, ending with 5 wins and 5 losses. She has roughly very close to the same experience that her opponent Mill Iron has. However, we'll see how it all stands once we get into the cage. Graf currently holds a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and trains out of Royal Martial Arts in Waldorf, Maryland. Graf has been training in MMA for about 3 years now. She's come off of a very strong win in her last fight, very much overwhelming her opponent with their massive strength, with that striking power that she holds. We'll see what she has in store for her opponent, Mill Iron. And now, if we could predict anything, I would say that this fight is most likely going to stay on the stand-up. I think both of these girls are going to go at it with full strength. They're going to be striking back and forth as much as possible until one of them gets a little wobbly, and then it's all up to taking advantage from the situation at that point. You know, both of these fighters definitely have that power. It's going to be very unpredictable in there as to who has more of the advantage. It's going to be a great challenge for both of these fighters to really test their strength here in the cage. Tara Graf heads into the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino, Salamanca, New York, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout in the women's strawweight division. After the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Todd Anderson. Introducing first, in the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5'1", official weight 114.8 pounds. She represents Ludus MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Petoskey, Michigan, presenting Alibeth Overtime Mill Iron. Her opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 4 inches tall. Official weight 115.4 pounds. She represents Royal Martial Arts. Ladies and gentlemen, from Newburgh, Maryland, presenting Tara, the Tiny Terror Graf. Once again, Todd Anderson is your official for this bout. Now with the final instructions, 3 rounds, women's strawweights.
Ladies, you've gone over the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. If you wish to touch gloves, do so now. Step back.
Here we are, round number 1.
Ready? Ready? Wait!
Alibeth Mill Iron versus Tara Graf.
Mill Iron coming in. Obviously giving up a little bit of height and some reach advantage to Graf, but aggressive nonetheless. Graf, they're just banging, just standing in the middle of the ring, just letting them go.
Both fighters feeling comfortable just slugging it out.
Boy, they're both really physical. Graf with good pressure against the cage, just waiting for it to settle in. It's a really tough place to keep up this pace. And a couple good short elbows by both Graf and Milliron. Milliron just pressuring.
Graf just bringing that explosive fierceness that we've seen in previous matches with her.
Both girls just slugging it out now. Graf just seems to be dominating this position here up against the cage with good pressure.
Graf making good use, controlling that wrist.
Alabeth needs to find an answer to that. As soon as I say that, a great takedown by Graf, immediately trying to step over into half guard.
Milliron trying to defend. She's got to use that cage to her advantage, try to get some elevation here, but Graf not going to let it happen.
Yeah, Graf has great pressure here, just stuffing Milliron's head into the cage. Good elbows to the rib cage. High guard be get set up by Milliron.
Graf continuing to pursue.
Milliron doing a good job of trapping, not doing much to try and get out of this, but doing a good job of trapping Graf's arm so she's not getting hit very often. Maybe looking for a stand-up, trying to walk up that cage, but Milliron just has no answer for this top position of Graf.
Graf having a hard time breaking through this guard.
Yeah, she needs to get active here. She's going to get stood back up. She worked really hard to get into this spot, but not really anything being done to improve her position.
Milliron locking things up, taking in minimal damage, as you were saying.
Trying to set up that high guard. She looks like she's a little bit more offense from the bottom than Graf is from the top. Little bit of body work there. Graf just dominating this top position, but not really doing anything to try and win this fight. Trying to sneak out the back door, maybe set up an armbar here. Milliron back to her knees. Trying to go single leg. That was a beautiful sprawl from Graf.
Yeah, Milliron getting a chance to reset here, turn things around in her favor.
Well, one arm in guillotine choke here, but I don't know if this is going to work. Graf not letting it go. Milliron having a chance to be on top here. 30 seconds left to see if she can pop her head out and go to work.
Yeah, Graf may want to let that go if she's not making any progress with it. She's going to have a dead arm if she keeps holding on.
Yeah, she's using a lot of energy right here, Trent.
Just under 10 seconds left. Milliron trying to score some last-minute points here with those body shots. And that'll conclude round number one.
Let's take a look at this replay, Trent. Both girls just going wide open at the beginning.
Yeah, both fighters just coming off with intense energy right off the bat, feeling comfortable on the stand-up, but immediately going back down to the ground. Welcome back to King of the Cage in the Mix. We're here at the Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino. Starting off round number 2. Now Mill Iron coming off of a good advantage at the end of that last first round there. Graf, however, was dominating for the most part.
Back to that clinch position. Graf dominated so much. And that's a good cover there by Mill Iron. See if she can't get her hands going here. Inside leg kick, good 1, 2, 3 from Mill Iron. Finally seems like she's getting a little bit more comfortable in there.
Yeah, Mill Iron definitely loosening up here, but Graf immediately trying to take control of the situation.
Mill Iron doing a good job of getting off that cage. Big high kick there from Graf. Mill Iron with double underhook. See if she can do anything with this position. Beth Mill Iron with good pressure up against the cage. See if she can't change elevation, snatch up a double or a single. Moving off the cage nicely now is Graf.
Graf working from the fence here. Mill Iron applying pressure.
And there's a good escape from Graf to get back to the center of the cage. I'll tell you what, these girls are really calm now. They seem to have settled in. 1, 2, barely missing from Graf. Mill Iron again with pressure up against the cage. 1, 2 missing, just a little bit short.
And they'll get into a little brawl once again there. Mill Iron trying to go for this takedown.
Has that single, needs to turn the corner and snap her away from that cage. It's a good reversal by Graf. And there's a knee barely missing by Graf.
Running into just a little bit of a stalemate here. Both fighters seeming to just kind of go back and forth up against the fence here. Reversal after reversal.
Yeah, somebody needs to get aggressive here, change elevation, and really work for a takedown. And there it is. There's a good trip, but immediately back to her feet. Graf doing a good job of defending that. Mill Iron had a good opportunity there, but just couldn't secure that takedown. Big knee. Graf up the middle.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be looking for some more action here. If not, you know, the ref could potentially split this up and we might have a reset.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea at this point. Nobody's really doing anything to improve their position or to win this fight. As soon as I say that, Mill Iron with a good takedown, now smashing away with the right hand. Graf finally has to pick her hand up off the ground. Barely missing with that right is Mill Iron.
And with just about 15 seconds left, they'll have just a little bit of time to try to throw a couple jabs out.
Mill Iron with it was a nice inside leg kick.
And that'll conclude round number 2. Let's take a quick look at the replay. Both these fighters coming off pretty fresh. Mill Iron, though, right off the bat in the beginning, she felt a lot more comfortable, a lot looser, a lot more confident this round. Definitely landing a few more shots in the brawls, but it started stagnating towards the middle and end of the round once they kept clinching up.
Yeah, I think Mill Iron really found a home for that inside leg kick. There's a lot of scramble going on here, a lot of wrestling, but right here she was smashing away. She's a lot more aggressive. Mill Iron just putting in work, and then at the end of the round, she found a home for that inside leg kick so she can do something in this third and final round. And here we go, round 3. Overhand right from Mill Iron, just catches Graf by surprise. Graf in all kinds of trouble, and it's over.
Great call by the referee there. Wow, just in a matter of seconds, all it took, one huge hit.
Overhand right just folds Graf. Mill Iron, which is a smashing right hand, and jumps in and finishes this thing. Times it perfectly. Wow.
Perfect execution, super power right on hit. Couldn't have connected better.
Alabeth Mill Iron just crushing overhand right. Ends this thing in the beginning of the third round.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee in charge, Todd Anderson has seen enough, steps in, calls a halt to this bout due to strikes. The official time, 10 seconds of the third and final round. Your winner by TKO, Alabeth, overtime, Mill Iron.
I am Chad Johnson, and I'm fighting out of Benett, Wisconsin, and I fight for O'Connell Falls MMA. Eddie's he's tall, long, he's got a long reach. I know he's got some really good head kicks, but that's about all I know about him. I train for him like I train for everyone. We train hard, we get down to the grind. When we're in the cage tonight, I'm just gonna pick him apart and I'm gonna take my time. Future looks good. I just would like to start taking some more fights and keep the road rolling. With him being the hometown guy, he has to come out, he has to perform, and he's got to come out here and he's got to take my title. Ed, I hope you're ready. I'm coming for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino, Salamanca, New York, King of the Cage and General Tire present our co-featured bout of the evening. Sanctioned by the Seneca Nation Athletic Commission, Chairman Scott Snyder, Commissioners Victor Redeye, Tina Abrams, Rick Jemison, and Justin Schapp. It's in conjunction with King of the Cage Incorporated, President and Founder Terry Trebilcock Jr., Matchmaker Tom Vaughn, Promoter Jeff Mahalik. The 3 judges scoring this match will be Chris Bolinski, David Bruce, and Tim Corrado. After the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Todd Anderson. And now, Western New York, put your hands together for our co-feature of the evening. 3 rounds of MMA for the King of the Cage Cruiserweight Super Fight title. Introducing first, the Lucas Oil Blue Corner, standing 6 feet 2 inches tall. Official weight, 225 pounds. This Oconto Falls MMA fighter has a perfect professional record. 3 bouts, 3 victories, no defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, from Marinette, Wisconsin, presenting Chad Big Rig Johnson. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our general tire red corner, stands at 6 feet 5 inches tall. Official weight, 228.6 pounds. This Salamanca fitness fighter is making his highly anticipated professional debut this very evening. Ladies and gentlemen, from Killbuck, New York, presenting Edward the Alchemist Sponeybarger. Once again, your referee in charge of our co-feature title bout, Todd Anderson, now with the final instructions.
Gentlemen, we got all the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. If you wish to touch the gloves, do so now. Step back.
Here we are, our co-feature of the night for the King of the Cage Cruiserweight title. Chad Johnson versus Ed Sponeybarger.
Big high kick, just misses.
Big kick from Chad Johnson. Sponeybarger catches it for a second there. Johnson now maneuvering his way on top.
Johnson in half guard, trying to settle in, get control. Good short elbow. Didn't do much to protect that. Sponeybarger just got it back into full guard, which is a great thing for him. Trying to slide out the back door, back to his knees.
Sponeybarger has just that slight height advantage there, and I mean, these guys already are pretty big dudes. They got a lot of power packing behind those hits. Sponeybarger really making use of some of that agility there, trying to get around Johnson.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to continue to move at this pace when you're 230 pounds. That's a lot of weight to be moving. These guys are all over the place, only a minute in. Trying to set up a triangle choke. Has that in there. Setting up triangle to armbar. Sponeybarger might have this.
And Chad picks him up.
Out of it, huh?
And of course, Chad Johnson just using that signature strength. Completely just tears Sponeybarger apart right there. Let's take another look at that.
Sponeybarger just moving away. These guys are just out of control here for the first 30 seconds. And Sponeybarger had something going here. He went triangle to armbar. If he'd have just underhooked that leg so that didn't happen, he might have finished that, but now he's just getting bashed away, Trent.
Oh yeah, and it's really hard to take even just one punch from Johnson, let alone an entire flurry.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 1 minute and 25 seconds of round number 1. Your winner by knockout, and now King of the Cage Cruiserweight Super Fight Champion, Chad Big Rig Johnson. I am with Chad Big Rig Johnson, who wins the Super Fight title this evening here in Western New York, with a local guy in front of you tonight. Talk about your victory.
Well, came out and did it exactly what we planned. Keep pressure on him, pick him apart, and he left it open.
And you seized the opportunity. Where do you go now with King of the Cage?
Back to Wisconsin, one more home fight.
Pat Mix is my opponent. He's been on a hot streak. He's 8-0. Hasn't tasted defeat yet.
My opponent's Keith Richardson. I know he's tough. I know he's experienced. He's got like 30 pro fights or something.
I'm definitely looking to give him that defeat. I don't train to lose, and I kind of picked a fight with a Marine on the Marine Corps birthday.
Yeah, I just train the way I normally do. I know he's got a lot of experience, but I train with the best fighters in the world, so you know, I feel comfortable with my game.
He's longer and taller than most bantamweights, but I have a lot of guys that I train with, you know, that can mimic that. You know, he's a southpaw. You know, I tend to handle that pretty well.
Expect a lot of action. You know, I push the pace. It's a small cage, and I'm planning on going for the finish from the first second to the 15th minute.
You know, I don't quit. I don't surrender, and you know, I've been doing some sort of combat my whole life. Yeah, you're gonna see a warrior in there, plain and simple.
After tonight's fight, people will know my name, and I'm planning on blowing up 9-0, the biggest prospect.
This is Keith, the Rockstar Richardson, ready to step in the cage, throw down.
Much respect to Keith Richardson. I plan on meeting him in the center, and may the better fighter win.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the sensational Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino, Salamanca, New York, King of the Cage and General Tire present our featured bout of the evening. Sanctioned by the Seneca Nation Athletic Commission, Chairman Scott Snyder, Commissioners Victor Redeye, Tina Abrams, Rick Jemison, and Justin Schapp. It's in conjunction with King of the Cage Incorporated, President and Founder Terry Trebilcock Jr., Matchmaker Tom Vaughn, Promoter Jeff Mahalik, Timekeeper at the bell, Nicole Corrado. The 3 judges scoring this bout will be Chris Bolinsky, David Bruce, and Tim Corrado. After the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action from St. Catharines, Ontario, Todd Anderson. And now for all the fight fans in attendance here in the great Empire State and the millions watching around the world. Western New York, let's hear it. This is our main event of the evening. 3 rounds of MMA in the flyweight division. Introducing first, in the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, official weight 136 pounds. This modern warrior MMA and team alpha male fighter has a professional record of 14 victories with 10 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, from Rock Hill, South Carolina, presenting Keith the Rockstar Richardson. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 11 inches tall. Official weight also 136 pounds. This WNY MMA and Jackson Wink fighter has an unblemished professional record. 8 bouts, 8 victories, no defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the pride of Angola, New York, the undefeated Patrick No Love Mix. Once again, Todd Anderson is your official for our main event. Now with the final instructions, 3 rounds, flyweights.
Gentlemen, go over the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. If you wish to touch gloves, do so now. Step back.
All right, here we are. This is our main event of the night. Keith Richardson versus Pat Mix.
Pat Mix coming in the red gloves, 8-0. Keith Richardson with 30 fights, 19-10.
Yeah, Richardson definitely coming in with a lot more experience over Mix, but Mix has that 8-0 record right now. He's been on fire lately. It's definitely built a huge fan base, as you can hear them. in the audience there.
Mix with that southpaw stance coming in, putting pressure against Richardson up in the cage. Richardson's trying to sneak out the back door to no avail.
Mix trying to take things down to the ground where he's most comfortable, as we usually see from his performances.
Richardson trying to work that other underhook. Good balance from Richardson. Outside trip from Mix. And that was a sneaky inside leg trip from Pat Mix, ending up on top. Trying to sneak over into that half guard, doing a good job of stepping over and controlling.
Richardson locking down that arm. Mix managing to get these shots in, making a couple extra points here in the aggressive factor, keep him busy.
Just a matter of time between Mix slides that right leg through. Richardson needs to try and regain guard here. Sneaking that left foot underneath.
Pat Mix throwing in a couple jabs here and there, every chance he gets.
Yeah, if I was Mix, I'd really try and create some space, get some little bit more significant punches in. These aren't doing a whole lot, and it's absolutely not softening up a guy with 30 fights.
Definitely, this is all something Richardson had seen many times before in the cage. He's going to have to throw a little harder.
Keith Richardson doing a good job of sliding out. Constant pressure from Mix, but not doing a whole heck of a lot with it. There's a good short elbow from Pat Mix.
Mix trying to get out of this half guard here.
Little spider guard here from Richardson. Doing a really good job getting back to this position. Mix trying to jump over. And he does, but sliding that knee through back to half guard is Richardson. Richardson trying to get back up. Mix sliding that right arm in, trying to work this choke. Gets his arm out. That may be in there deep. In all kinds of trouble is Richardson right now.
And Mix just latching around those legs, not letting Richardson get a chance to really defend from this.
Richardson in trouble with 49 seconds. Trying to push those hips away. And doing a good job of fighting this off. And finally popping his head out is Richardson.
Mix continuing to pursue, trying to improve his position here.
Mix with some good short elbows. Richardson content to finish up this round in the guard, regaining full guard.
And that will conclude round number 1. Let's take a quick look at the replay. We saw a classic Pat Mix style of round right there. Immediately going in, trying to get the takedown, moving him up against the fence and getting the takedown, and trying to work from there. But Richardson proving to be a very tough opponent on the ground.
Yeah, Richardson didn't do a whole heck of a lot to try and work any offense off his back, but Mix had him in here. He was in deep trouble there for a second. Richardson doing a good job of defending his way out of this choke.
Keith Richardson versus Pat Mix, our main event tonight as we enter round number 2.
And here we go. Let's see if Richardson can keep this thing on his feet. He was absolutely dominated on the ground in the last 3 minutes of the final round.
Richardson getting a chance here to dominate on the stand-up, try to get in a couple of shots, do some damage.
Yeah, he's really going to have to let those hands go. When Pat Mix gets in this position here, you're in trouble. But nice stepping over the guard into side control is Keith Richardson.
Keith Richardson not falling for the same trick twice. Now trying to position himself on top of Mix.
Mix was getting up, and we got a beautiful reversal by Pat Mix. Use that guillotine against Richardson. 4 minutes left. There's a lot of time for Mix to work. This is the last place you want to be with this kid. Good job of trapping that arm as Mix with that right leg. Mix is crafty on top. Richardson tried that arm triangle there for a second, slipped back into the butterfly guard, but immediately trying to step over back into half guard is Mix.
Yeah, Mix, very tough opponent to fight on the ground, probably one of the better ground fighters in his whole division. It's definitely what's won him just about all of his fights in that 8-fight streak.
Yeah, I'd like to see Mix get a little more physical in there. As he gets to that next level, that's the difference. Everybody's good on the ground. Everybody has this kind of dominant performance. But the guys at the highest level are really physical and really punishing in this position. Mix starting to loosen it up a little bit. Really working with that left forearm on Richardson's grill.
Richardson hanging in there, locking it down. Nice shot from Mix there. And I believe for the most part, Mix is just trying to stay busy, trying to keep things on the ground, does not want things to get stood up by the referee. So even if it's just a little pot shot here and there, that's all he's doing. But he could definitely benefit from throwing some more power in that. He's definitely got the energy for it. We know he has the endurance.
Well, he's really working right now and just doing a good job of sitting on top. But you're right, Trent, he works a little bit more of that power. It's going to open him up to get a few more submissions. Richardson really needs to work to get off his back, find some offense, do something. Just getting dominated from this position right here. Mix trying to step over that leg. Should try and work on creating some space to get a little bit more power shots on there.
Mix continuing to just slowly push his way through.
Into half guard now is Mix. See if he can do anything with this. Back to full guard goes Richardson. Looks like he's trying to set up Cormier with a short chopping elbow.
Mix now looking to pass the leg.
Mix doing a good job of getting into this position, but those aren't fight-ending punches.
No, they certainly are not.
That's barely enough, Trent, to keep him in this position. Without any more power, they're going to stand this thing up.
Got just about 15 seconds left. Nick's going to hold out here on the ground most likely. Richardson trying to set something up here.
Looked like he was trying to set up that Urijah. Just couldn't get his foot out of there, couldn't get his hips out of there. Another dominating round by Pat Mix.
Yeah, let's take a quick look at the replay. Once again, we saw a similar round to round number 1. Mix taking things down to the ground as quickly as possible. We saw a little bit more resistance, I believe, from Richardson. Did a little bit better in the defense, but again, it kind of got to that stagnant performance we were seeing in the first round.
Yeah, you know, defense won't win you fights. At this point right now, you need to try and get some offense going, start working on some submissions, at least to get Mix into a little bit of trouble.
We'll see how it develops coming up in the third round after the break. Here we are, third and final round. Keith Richardson in the blue gloves versus Pat Mix in the red. It's all culminated up to this point. We'll see if Richardson can pick up some more points in the control factor here, because as far as I'm concerned, it seems like Mix has dominated the last 2 rounds.
There's a spinning back fist there from Richardson, a first flurry of offense, but this is exactly where he doesn't want to be, in close range in that grappling with Pat Mix. Pat gets him to the ground at will.
Yeah,
and there's a nice uppercut, barely misses from Richardson. Closing the distance is Mix again.
Takes him right back down to the ground. Now sinking in his hooks.
Well, there's a body triangle from Pat Mix, and now this is a little different story. That saps your energy, that will loosen you up. It's hard to breathe, you gotta deal with that. Richardson cannot just hang out here for 4 minutes with that body triangle on him.
And this has almost become a signature move of Pat Mix. We've seen this time and time again. He's locking up that body triangle and just likes to annoy his opponents until he spits in that rear naked choke or whatever submission he's looking for.
Yeah, it's a tough position to be in. You have to address that leg. You're not going to be able to hang out here for too long. At 135 pounds, Pat Mix is long and powerful. Just sucking the air out of Richardson as we speak. Trying to sink that arm in there. Mix just being patient, trying to soften him up a little bit.
Richardson having a hard time defending from this.
He had the right idea of trying to address that leg, trying to address that body triangle.
Richardson constantly under pressure, trying to keep that chin down and protected.
Mix just being patient, just grinding away, short choppy punches.
And here's where those short little choppy punches really come into play and really play into his advantage here. Just acting to distract, annoy, not necessarily going for all that damage, but really just to throw him off guard.
If he had actually put some pressure on with some real shots, Richardson would really have to defend, which might open him up to let that chin up.
And Mix is just relentless.
Yeah, that body triangle just getting deeper and deeper and deeper.
And Pat Mix can sit in this position all day long. We've seen him do it before. Richardson really going to have to find a way to get out of this soon.
And Pat Mix with a smart move, trapping that leg, going knee bar from a funky position. And that could be finished. Woo! What a submission from Pat Mix.
Beautiful execution. Immediately knew what to go for, saw that leg and grabbed it. Let's take a look at that one more time. I mean, Mix just, again, coming off dominant, knew what he wanted to do this round and completely executed it.
Wow, we don't see this very often. Pat Mix on the back. Soften him up, soften him up. Richardson thinks he's completely safe. He thought he was getting out of this thing. But Pat Mitch reaches down, snatches up the leg, goes straight knee bar. Wow, what a submission.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 3 minutes and 29 seconds of the third round. Your winner by tap-out submission from a knee bar, still undefeated, Patrick No Love May.